Peace and blessings, family. This is Ubria, and I am back with another reading. This might resonate with you or with someone in your energy. You will receive valuable insight either way. And if it doesn't apply, let it fly. So today's message is for a boss. Whoever you are a boss. And I feel like you're a boss, but you're also an artist. And so that could be a little bit of a contradiction because artists tend to work alone and be introverts, and bosses have to learn how to manage and be extroverted. But I feel like the thing that you're learning how to manage as a boss who is also an artist is yourself. You're learning how to manage yourself. So sometimes when you're, say you're a boss who manages people and you have a certain end goal in mind, and so you have to get the people, the team that you're in charge of, you have to get them to understand the vision. You have to utilize their unique skill sets to get them to work together as a team to manifest the vision. And you have to oversee the process to make sure that they are motivated, to make sure that they always understand what they're supposed to be doing and why, and to make sure that they have the time, space, and opportunity and mental wellness to bring their best self to the environment and achieve the goal at hand. The thing is, though, since you're the boss, but you're also the employee, these are things that you're learning to do for yourself or things that you need to learn how to do for yourself. So you could feel a little bit blocked right now. You could feel a little bit unmotivated and be feeling like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I want certain things, but I'm not getting those things. I don't know where I should apply my energy. Here's the thing, you do know. You do know. And there is a certain duality that's happening right now. There is a splitting that is happening right now because you all at once are feeling the version of yourself who doesn't know what the fuck is going on and doesn't know what you're meant to be doing. And there's also the version of you that knows exactly what the fuck is going on and knows what you're meant to be doing. You are both the boss and the employee right now. You are both the teacher and the student right now. So I just heard, so you need to get your shit together. But it's not, I feel like that's so you could be talking to yourself in a way that is not helpful, that is a little bit harsh right now. And that's one of the lessons that you could be learning as well, is like, what sorts of thoughts and affirmations, what sorts of things motivate me, right? I feel like you could be moving out of a space of like constantly beating yourself up and berating yourself and forcing yourself to do certain things. Like, I feel like you're wanting to more be the kind of boss to yourself that is also a friend, or at least someone who is friendly, who doesn't make it feel like it's a chore. So there's a part of you who could actually be rebelling a little bit because you could feel like you want what you want, but you don't want to get it the way that you make yourself get it. I hope this is making sense, because I know that this concept can be a little bit confusing, but I feel like you maybe don't like the way that you talk to yourself, so a part of you kind of shuts down and feels like, okay, then I just don't want to do shit. You could also have people looking at you who don't know what they're looking at, and by that I mean you could be sitting still. You so this could look like laziness. This could look like lack of direction or lack of focus. This could look like, you know, confusion, but it's really you having these meetings and conversations with yourself to get yourself in line. So you could be like a little bit on strike a little bit, and there's a part of you who's like, why won't you work? Why won't you hustle? Why won't you do the shit that we need to do? And the other part of you is like, because I'm not motivated and I don't like how you talk to me. But this is all internally. So this is a season where I feel like you are really going to do the work to understand how you are motivated, because maybe your motivation doesn't look like everybody else's motivation. Maybe your desires are not the same as everybody else's desires. So say you thought you were motivated by money, so you're constantly telling yourself like, yeah bitch, you better get on that computer, because if you don't get the fuck up and get on that computer, we ain't gonna make no money.
And you could be telling yourself all sorts of scary things like, and then the kids ain't gonna eat, or and then you ain't gonna be able to afford to go to the dentist, or then you ain't gonna be able to afford to have groceries, or you ain't gonna have no gas, or you ain't gonna be able to afford to get this hotel another day, or you ain't gonna have your rent, you ain't gonna pay your bills. You could be used to motivating yourself by fear, but I feel like you have to ask yourself, does that come from you, or does that come from the voices that have been in your head? Because I feel like you could have had people in your mind who really, they never really understood something that I feel like you're coming to understand, which is life is supposed to be nice to you. Life is supposed to be kind to you. Life is supposed to be good to you. And maybe that doesn't happen for everyone, but you choose that. That is how you need it to be for you. So you could be just be coming to a point where it's like your standards are higher than they used to be. Your you know how, back in the day models would be like, I don't get out of bed for anything less than 10,000. You know, whatever your 10,000 is, like what is your $10,000? Like what is the thing that gets you out of bed? And what is the thing that you feel like if it ain't that, you don't want it. You don't give a fuck. Because I feel like this is a process that's happening unconsciously, but this reading is about helping you understand that you need to bring this to the forefront. Whatever this process is that's happening, there is like a dual energy happening within you, and they're battling each other. I feel like one part of you feels like the other part is not motivated enough, and one part feels like the other part is not nice or kind enough. So there's something about your intentions for yourself, for your life, for your day, for your career, for your art, or whatever it is that you put out into the world. I feel like there's a part of you that is calling those intentions higher, is calling your work to mean more, to elevate, to be more, I don't know, big picture, spiritual, more God focused, more divine focused. You could feel called to focus on more spiritual matters as opposed to earthly matters. There's also something here too about like faith. Like there's a part of you that wants to be really worried and really results focused and like looking and seeing, is this happening? Are things happening? Am I getting results? And another part of you doesn't want you to focus on that. There's a part of you that only wants you to focus on how you feel, and that's the only result that matters. So, yeah, there's like a unification process happening because I feel like your values are up leveling and they're kind of like dragging you along with them. There could also be people, I feel like there's people who are going to come into your energy, and this I'm sorry to say, but this could be through a death. You could meet someone because of a death or something like that, but it's also this could be a spiritual death where there's something within you that like dies, that passes away, that goes away, that changes. Also, you could be a Scorpio, or you could be dealing with a Scorpio, but there's very heavy Scorpio energy in this reading, change and transformation. But I feel like there's some sort of way that you're going to change, that you're going to grow, that you're being called to change and grow, and you're being pushed forward, you're being pushed into something. And this process could be painful because I feel like the thing that is growing and changing and dying is you, or these are relationships that you used to have that you, because you're changing now, you have to push those people away, or you have to interact with those relationships differently. Or there could be people who are struggling, and they really want you to see their struggle and to identify with their struggle and to unite with them in their struggle, and you don't want to do that either. You're not in struggle mode. You want things to be easy, to feel easy, and it's like, so that means that you kind of have to separate from people, right? Because you're not sharing the same values anymore to stay in certain relationships. But this is all for your personal progress. And so this is not to say that everybody should do what you're doing, that everybody should have your perspective, that everybody should be like you. But this is saying that in order for you to have what you want and the life that you want that best suits you as a unique individual, that this is the process that you need to go through. So there could also be kind of this splitting to where you want to conform more because you maybe have had more traditional values, and there's like this certain game of life that you're trying to quote unquote win, but you have to be a team player in order to I want to throw up just even saying that shit. Like, I don't know if this is like corporate speak or something like that, if this is about a job or some career change that you're realizing that you have to make, but there's something about the situation that you've been in that like almost fucking disgusts you. You could be a boss but also an artist. So you could on one hand, when you go home from work, be an artist who's all about your art, loving the independence of it. You know, you don't want to be criticized, you don't want to be over examined or any of that. But then in your work mode, you have to criticize and over examine other people, and it's beginning to just like show the wear and tear of it, of this contradiction, of this duality. Like I feel like the wear and tear is beginning to show in some sort of way, and you're feeling like you need to fucking pick a side. There's something that you have to put an end to. I feel like there's something that you have to leave behind, and you are really struggling with this because I feel like, you know, you're like, where's the money though? But but remember what I just said. There's a part of you that's not money motivated, right? Anymore. Where's the money is not the right question. If there's something you're considering doing or changing, or something that you want and you want to put effort towards it, and there is something about that has to do with money or payment or something like that, but asking where's the money, or how will the money come, or you can get with it. You're like, okay, I can see how I can do this, or I can see how I can put my time and energy to this, like that's fine, but where's the money? Or but then how will I make money? Or but where's the money going to come from? That whole line of questioning, I feel like is not the right question, and I'm not here to tell you that you don't need money. Obviously, this is earth. You are receiving this transmission from earth, so money is a factor. But that's not the right question. I don't know what the right question is. You have to figure out what the right question, what the right motivation is for you. But the money is not it. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.